The government of Jamaica and the US government is on a collision course over the advisory that the US government has released to its citizens in visiting Jamaica. The US government is saying that they have not updated the report on criminal activity in Jamaica from 2022. It is the same advisory up to 2024, but the new release that they have released is the health sector, the inadequacy of the health sector in Jamaica. So they are not responding now to the Jamaican government in respect to just crime. They are also responding to the health crisis in Jamaica, the hospital, the inadequacy of the hospital. And they are saying that citizens must make sure that before visiting Jamaica, they have health insurance. But the Jamaican government, along to the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is saying that he is not understanding why the US is saying this, because Jamaica is safe, especially for tourists. And the Commissioner of Police is saying also that no harassment of tourists is taking place. So listen what the US government is saying. Just listen.
Stresses that the State Department's January 23 update regarding travel to Jamaica was a routine release. It says the release provided an analytical update on medical services and was not timed with any other issue. The embassy further explains that the update incorporated analysis of accidents, illnesses and deaths of U.S. citizens based on a review of health services and the medical care received when U.S. citizens are hospitalized in Jamaica. It notes that Jamaica is and will continue to be a major tourist destination for U.S. citizens, and that it will continue to work with the Jamaican government and local partners to serve the interests of U.S. citizens and promote the well-being of Jamaicans. The embassy states that the U.S. Department of State's priority is the safety and security of U.S. citizens overseas, and that the department is obligated to provide information to U.S. citizens traveling or residing abroad through travel advisories. It further notes that travel advisories are aimed at helping people assess the risks of international travel and understanding what steps to take to ensure their safety overseas. Reporting for IRFM News, I am Natalie Campbell.
Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson has indicated that it is extremely rare for visitors in Jamaica to be victims of crime. Speaking at the National Security Council seminar today, he noted that the reported overall crime rate for visitors in 2023 was 26 per 1 million. He said even with underreporting taken into account, the rates are extremely low.
When we looked at it for the actual homicide rate for visitors, it's more like 2.3 per million visitors. That is the homicide rate. And then for particularly the business of sexual crimes, rape and other sexual offenses, that's what the numbers look like, 3.4 per million and 3.8 per million. And this is based on reports. You have reports that turn out to be not so, and then you have under-reporting as well, because people don't want to report it.
Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson. And And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has suggested that the recent U.S. travel advisory is not consistent with the statistics on crime in Jamaica. This, as Mr. Holness said, perceptions of crime in the country often do not match up to the reality of what is experienced on the island. Speaking at a National Security Council seminar today, he referenced a recent survey of 20 countries in the region, which indicated that though Jamaica had one of the highest expressed concern about crime, the country had the lowest rate of victimization.
Now is a good time to talk about perceptions versus reality. So, in the view of the recent U.S. travel advisory, it is clear that based upon all the statistics that I have given you and the direction in which we are heading, that the advisory is at variance with the statistics, as the improvements are evident, certainly in terms of what we're doing with crime, violence, and safety. So as government and law enforcement personnel, the challenge for us is to come up with strategies as well as to how we close the gap between how persons feel and the reality, especially in the age of social media and its impact on perception.
The Prime Minister acknowledged that it will take some time for perceptions regarding crime to change, while stressing that the government is not dismissing the concerns that citizens have about their safety. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has expressed concern that the Jamaican state could collapse due to the pervasiveness of crime and violence. Speaking at the National Security Council seminar today, Mr. Holness said most Jamaicans don't recognize the significant threat posed by crime.
One of the challenges we face as a small island is that we don't see ourselves as having a national security problem. We don't see things through the lens of a threat to the existence of the state. We believe that the Jamaican state will always exist. It is a thinking that has pervaded many of the other independent arms of government. Every day I see how the Jamaican state could collapse from this business of crime and violence, because we are not taking a national security prism to the problem. So we have to change the legislation to create this understanding that gangs, violence, and crime are a threat to the existence of the Jamaican state.
He added that the issue of gangs coordinating and directing crime must be addressed, as they are weakening the state.
We see it as a street-level problem. Oh, it's a Spanish Town problem. Oh, it's a Montego Bay problem. Oh, it's a problem in Clarendon. Oh, it's a problem with gangs in Central Kingston. Not recognizing that the gangs in Central Kingston have links with the gangs in Spanish Town, who have links with gangs in St. Anne, who have links with gangs in Montego Bay, that there are higher level gangs coordinating and directing. And whilst they may not be acting politically, they don't want to run the state, so they are not terrorists in the classic sense. But what they want to do is to weaken the state so that the economic benefit of their enterprise can grow. But we are here being pitiful at a street-level youngster who has a gun, because all we see is a street-level youngster with a gun, not recognizing that he is the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the spear of the threat to our safety and security. He's the one that will pierce our veil of security. So we must deal with that as strongly as we deal with those who form the shaft of the spear and those who direct it. And that is why we are increasing our penalties, changing the legislative environment.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness.